Hello, good morning. Today I will also read about Dhammika story, but today I will read three stories. Cundasukarika story, Dhammika Upasaka story, and devadatta story. To tell you three stories. The first story, the story of Cundasukarika. While residing at the Vilwana monastery in Rajagaha, the Buddha uttered verse 15 of this book with the reference to Jonah, the pork butcher. Once, in a village not far away from the Vilwana monastery, there lived a very crucial and hard-hearted pork butcher by the name of Sonda. Tonda was a pork butcher for over 55 years. At this time, he had not done a single meritorious deed. Before he died, he was in such great pain and agony that he was grunting and squealing and kept on moving about on his hands and knees like a pig for 7 whole days. In fact, even before he died, he was suffering as if he were in Niraya on the seventh day. The pork butcher died and was reborn in Aviji Niraya. Thus, the evildoer must always suffer for the evil deeds done by him. He suffers in his reward as well as in the next. In this connection, the Buddha spoke in verse as follows. Here he grieves, here after he grieves. The evildoer grieves in both existences. He grieves and he suffers anguish when he sees the depravity of his own deeds. The second story of Dhammika Upasaka. While residing at the Jedona monastery in South Tea, the Buddha uttered verse 16 of this book with reference to Dhammika, a lay people. Once there lived in South Tea a lay disciple by the name of Dhammika, who was virtuous and very fond of giving in charity. He generously offered food and other requests to the bhikkhus regularly and also on special occasions. He was, in fact, the leader of 500 virtuous lay disciples of the Buddha who lived in South Tibet. Dhammika had 7 sons and 7 daughters, and all of them, like their father, were virtuous and devoted to charity. When Dhammika was very ill and was on his deathbed, he made a request to Sangha to come to him and recite the sacred text by his bedside. While the bhikkhus were reciting the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, 6 devotees arrived to invite him to their respective wards. Dhammika told them to wait for a while for fear of interrupting the recitation of the sutta. The bhikkhu, thinking that they were being asked to stop, stopped and left the place. A little while later, Dhammika threw his chariot about the 6 decorated chariots waiting for him. Then, and there, he decided to choose the carrier from the two-seater wards and asked one of his children to throw a garland onto it. Then he passed away and was reborn in the two-seater world. Thus, The virtuous man rejoices in this world as well as in the next. Then the Buddha spoke in verse as follows. Here he rejoices, hereafter he rejoices. One who performs meritorious deed rejoices in both existences. He rejoices and greatly rejoices when he sees the purity of his deeds. The third or the last story of Devadatta. While residing at the Jedavana monastery in Saudi, the Buddha uttered verse 17 of this book with the reference to Devadatta. Devadatta was at one time reciting with the Buddha in Kosambi. While staying there, he realized that the Buddha was receiving much respect and honor as well as offerings. He envied the Buddha and aspired to head the order of the bhikkhus. One day, while the Buddha was preaching at the Viluvana monastery in Rajagaha, he approached the Buddha and on the ground that the Buddha was getting old, he suggested that the order be entrusted to his care. The Buddha rejected his offer and rebuked him, saying that he was a swallower of other people's spittle. The Buddha next asked the Sangha to carry out an utter proclamation regarding Devadatta. Devadatta felt aggrieved and bound vengeance against the Buddha. 3 times he attempted to kill the Buddha, first by employing some archers, secondly by climbing up the Gisakuta hill and rolling down a big piece of rock onto the Buddha, and thirdly by causing the elephant Nalagiri to attack the Buddha. The hired assassin returned after being established in South Sotapati Fruition without harming the Buddha. The big piece of rock rolled down by Devadatta hurt the big toe of the Buddha just a little. And when the Nalagiri elephant rushed at the Buddha, it was made docile by the Buddha. Thus, Devadatta failed to kill the Buddha, and he tried another tactic. He tried to break up the order of the bhikkhu by taking away some newly admitted bhikkhus with him to Kosi Kayasik Sa. However, most of them were brought back by Thera Sariputta and Thera Mahamoggallana. Later, Devadatta fell ill. He had the Mahamoggallana. Later, Devadatta fell ill. He had been asked his pupils to take him to the Buddha and subsequently made the trip to the Jedavana monastery. Hearing that Devadatta was coming, the Buddha told his disciples that Devadatta would never get the opportunity to see him. When Devadatta and his party reached the pond in the Jedavana monastery compound, the carriers put down the couch on the bank of the pond and went to take a bath. Devadatta also rose from his car and placed both his feet on the ground. Immediately, his feet sank into the earth and he was gradually swallowed up. Devadatta did not have the opportunity to see the Buddha because of the wicked deeds he had done to the Buddha. After his death, he was reborn in Aweti Niraya, a place of intense and continuous torment. Then the Buddha spoke in verse as follows. Here he is tormented, hereafter he is tormented. The evil doer is tormented in both existences. He is tormented and he laments. Evil have I done. He is even more tormented when he is reborn in one of the lower worlds, Abhaya. That's all today. I read three stories to give you some knowledge of the teachers of the Buddha in the Dhammapada. I hope you will get something about knowledge or something from my reading Dhammapada book. Thank you all. May Trivijans be blessed, you all.